Welcome back, everybody. Jay here. Zero Time Dilemma. You know what time it is. We're finally there. We're going to pick it. We'll pick it from C. I don't know if there's any difference. Maybe there's not. Maybe they all just play out exactly the same. But here we go. Final decision.
I knew it! Looks like the memories we regained are true after all.
The three wards were all in the same place. Then...
Carlos!
Akane. Junpei.
Carlos had to take an ass whooping to get this
And Mira,
across.
and Eric.
And you're Sean, right?
Carlos, what happened?
Proof of friendship.
Anyway, what are you guys doing here?
According to the schedule, C team and Q team should both still be asleep.
We took a page out of your book and did what you did. We used the cards to keep the bracelet needle from injecting us.
So, does that mean?
Yeah, I remember everything.
Where did you get that
I
from
do
then?
too. Junpei and I as well.
Over the past few hours, we got back the memories we forgot.
Well, to be more accurate, it's more like we accessed the morphogenetic field and downloaded all of them.
Then you have the other history's memories too?
Yes.
Then you're like us.
But why?
What about Eric and Mira then,
Hold
though?
up.
Because they don't have
Eric
it.
and I are different.
Yeah. We didn't gain memories from other histories.
Then neither of you got injected?
No, we're the same as Carlos and the others.
I told them. Maybe I'll start from the beginning. First, so I could run the program in the Force Quit box, I accessed the central control computer. Then, I briefly turned off the communication network. That way, I stopped the surveillance cameras from sending any data to Zero. I didn't want Zero to catch on to what we were doing.
And that's when Sean let us in on the truth of what's going on here.
We went over to the transporter room and picked up 2 cards.
That's how you did it.
Before the injection, we each slipped one between our wrist and bracelet.
Okay. Now you two make sense. But what about you, Sean?
Well, you probably already know, but I'm a robot. Being injected does nothing to me.
Then,
Every time the time limit approached, I was forced to go into sleep mode. Then my memories from the previous 90 minutes were deleted. I didn't want that to happen, so... You remember me saying I accessed the computer? Well, I hacked my own system too.
He said he managed to cancel the forced sleep and delete functions.
What about C-Team then?
We couldn't interrupt the surveillance cameras, so we had to be sneaky instead.
First, Carlos pushed me down and climbed on top of me.
He what?
It was just an act. I was only pretending to do it.
Carlos used that moment to whisper in my ear.
Oh, so that's why she wasn't all
He
pissed.
said to go to the transporter room and grab the cards in there.
But if I just let her go like that, it looks suspicious. So Junpei and I stayed behind to get Zero's undivided attention. I casually invited Junpei to the power room. You can see the results of our conversation.
You should have told me what was up.
If I had, then Zero would have figured it out. You look like you'd be a crap actor.
And after that?
We met Akane in the lounge. We hid from the cameras and each got a card from her.
Sorry, but could I get confirmation on something? Everyone knows what all happened in the other histories, right?
Except for
Even you, Mira, and Eric?
well, yeah, not them exactly.
Didn't Eric say so earlier? Sean told us everything.
But wait. Why?
Why what?
Why do we know about the other histories?
Well, that's probably...
You want to know?
Oh, hello, Delta.
Q?
Or same, yeah.
Or maybe it's actually Zero.
You are free to call me by my given name, which is Delta. There's no need to look so threatening. You were the one who named me, Diana. It doesn't matter. I shall answer your question. Carlos, Akane, Junpei, Diana, Phi, and Sigma. All 6 of you know that you are shifters, correct? Think back on your path to this very moment. Did you arrive in this history by following a normal flow of time? No, of course you didn't. You jumped in from another history using your shift abilities. And it wasn't just this once. You have been shifting back and forth many times, from one point in space-time to another. You boldly took chances, much like jumping from one tree branch to another. You have forgotten that fact, perhaps as a result of the medicine, or as one of the side effects of shifting. Regardless, your memories have been kept firmly intact within the morphogenetic field. It is simply that the 6 of you regained the memories of those times. One small trigger, and the levee preventing you from remembering collapsed. Sean is a similar case. However, his thought center is located within the quantum computer, so I suppose it's slightly different from you.
What about me and Mira?
You are both like me, in that we do not have the ability to shift.
You don't?
So then how does he know?
I have another power instead. The power to mind hack.
Mind hack?
That's how he controlled Eric's mind earlier to kill everybody.
I am able to read other people's minds. I know the thoughts and ideas that go through their heads. That's why I know exactly what Phi is trying to do right now. Step away from that device, Phi.
Then, when we blocked the injection...
I saw through your ruse.
Then why did you...
I wanted all of you to play the final decision game.
Oh, great.
The final decision game?
I find human decisions fascinating. More specifically, the world branching that occurs as a result. I already mentioned that I am unable to shift. But after looking inside millions of minds, I learned one thing. There are people in this world with the ability to jump between histories. That shifters exist. Hence, why I know so much about these parallel worlds.
You did all this because you were curious?
When a person does something significant, it's difficult to boil the reason down to one word. Their motives are often very complex. It is the same now. To fulfill several objectives, it was necessary to trap all of you in here.
So why did you do it?
You want to know?
That's what
It is
she
so
asked.
you give birth to Phi and myself, Diana.
What do you mean?
Phi and I are the children of Diana and Sigma.
Phi is...
Wait. They're children?
November 16th, 2029. Phi and I were born in this shelter. This was another history, of course. Shortly after, the atomic data that makes up our bodies was transported to April 1904. The transporter was located in a German research facility at that time. Our bodies reconstructed and regenerated in the export pods at that facility.
But that would mean you're actually...
I'm 124.
You're joking.
But Phi is...
A German researcher sent her to 2008. Records indicate that she was part of an experiment.
You're saying Phi jumped back in time from 2029 to the year 1904, and then forward again to 2008?
Technically, what was sent both times was simply the data makeup of Phi's body.
I heard that in 2008, the device was being studied in an American facility.
That's when an old couple who were researchers took me in.
So what happened to the old Phi then?
We've gone off topic. But yes, that was one of the major goals. Everything that occurred here helped create Phi and myself. And when I say that, I am including all of the other histories. If I hadn't trapped the group of you here, then Phi and I would have never been born in our current forms.
Your current forms?
Sean, you should already know about epigenetics. You see, environmental factors determine which switches are activated within the genetic code. Reproductive cells are the same. Or perhaps I should say that the reproductive cells are the ones most affected.
Yeah, they talked about that when they were talking about the fanatic and the
Oh.
radical 6.
I get it. That's why you made Diana and Sigma play the decision game.
What do you mean?
By backing them into a crisis situation, he caused an epigenetic change within their reproductive cells. I think that's why their children were born with unique powers.
Gold Star. This is the reason I have my mind-hacking abilities. Phi was affected as well. You were born a shifter. DT, do you recall what was written on your wall?
When a curious hate oozes calamity.
And rearranging the letters gives you...
No way. What you choose can materialize us.
Oh, our decisions will bring you to life.
That is why the decision games were held. So that the Phi and me, here now, would materialize exactly the way we are.
No, but... Okay, so I get why you had to have Diana and Sigma go through life or death decisions. But the rest of us had nothing to do with...
I already told you. My motives are complex.
What? Wait, there's more?
Whoa, what the hell?
Fuck you, you goddamn old man!
Fine, no!
Oh, I was afraid the trigger was going to go off. Don't tell me that went to Eric, because he's nuts with that shotgun. Why does he keep getting the shotgun?
You may be right.
What?
Diana, take this. Put it in. Your bluebird, too.
It's ready.
Verified. Key items were set. Executing Force Quit program. 10 minutes until explosion.
Oh, it's going to blow up everything. It literally is force quitting the whole thing.
What?
Oh no!
The hell? What is this?
Hey, answer me! What's with that announcement?
Must I explain? This shelter will soon explode. You've worked so hard, only to turn on this facility's self-destruct mechanism.
Sean, access the central control computer.
It's no use. Once the Force Quit program has been activated, there is no possible way for you to reverse it.
Then what can we do?
I will tell you two good things. First, I suggest checking behind the bar counter.
Oh.
No!
Why would you?
Gab.
What?
Gab's been...
Did you kill
Why is that a good
Gab?
thing?
Yes, with the shotgun you're holding. There wasn't much life left in him anyway.
You monster!
I never expected to hear that coming from you.
Why
Sean.
is that a good thing?
So what's the other thing? You had two things to tell us.
I have the ability to mind hack,
We already know that.
but I've not told you everything about it. Reading other people's thoughts isn't the only thing I can do with mind hacking. It only lasts a moment, but I am able to control someone's body as I wish. Like this.
What the hell?
Eric! Why?
No, for real, my finger just...
Mind hacking.
Understand now. This is my power. So, let's begin. Your final decision game. You have two choices. One, to stay here and wait to die. The other is... The other
Would they still have to kill each other to get the password?
Hey! What's the other option? What's the other option?
Until explosion.
Well, what should we do?
What about the X door?
And how exactly should we open it? Unless 6 people die, it's gonna stay closed. Or should we start killing each other now?
Mira?
I have an idea.
Which is?
We're going to shift, all of us, together.
But Mira and Eric can't.
Like jumping to another history?
But Eric and
I'm sure it will be fine. Remember what I said? Human consciousness may be a result of quantum effects in the brain.
Oh, yeah. You said if certain conditions are met, we can also...
What are the conditions?
First, you need to be exposed to danger. And the other one is...
to be in the vicinity of a group of shifters.
I get it!
We'll resonate, and then Mira and Eric can...
But which history are we going to jump to?
None of the similar histories will work. One team is likely to be dead after the vote.
And we can't shift if there are no bodies for us to jump to, right?
Then... we need to jump to where all of us are alive.
When we're all alive?
Do you mean...
All the way back to the coin flip?
The history, where we won the coin toss.
Oh. So then we're all going to be outside and remember.
I'm not sure I get it all, but it's a good idea.
What are you saying? There's no way we could do that.
Why not?
Shift isn't simply jumping into bodies in different histories.
Our consciousnesses swap places. Ours for theirs.
We'll be forcing our other selves into these bodies, and they'll die without knowing why.
Yeah, and what's wrong with that?
What?
Well, they're all living without a care off in another history, yeah? One time, they do the coin toss once and win? Don't you think that's unfair?
Mira, you're saying they, but we're talking about ourselves here.
Well, we should consider if those people really are us.
Good point. If we assume that we here are the true versions, then the us in the other history are essentially strangers.
It's Marty McFly
Even
number 2.
more of a reason not to.
If we shift to that history, then we're tossing the others under the bus to save ourselves.
I say do it.
The us in that history have done nothing wrong. I mean, the only thing they did was win at a coin toss.
You could say the same for us. The only thing we did was lose a coin toss. Even so, we've had to go through so much shit. We've been forced to put our lives on the line.
Besides, aren't the bodies in the other histories ours anyway?
Then why should we second guess ourselves?
Huh.
Well, you better decide now.
We're out of time. I'll say it again. We have 2 choices. We can stay here and wait for our deaths, or survive by sacrificing our other selves in another history.
So that's what that bastard meant. The final decision game.
Oh, 2 choices. We're shifting. Do it. Everybody get in a circle. We'll shift forward. Whoa, what? Oh, there it is. So then where would the non... Okay. And that's probably the non-shift. Okay. Let's do it. We're shifting first.
Damn, I can't remember anything.
Me neither.
Neither can I.
It somehow feels like I made a bet with someone, but
Someone?
What kind of bet?
Did we all forget what happened?
Hey, could I ask all of you something? Who is this kid?
No, remember, here it comes. Are we about to get like... Not yet. Here we go. Just a bunch of blue balls all in your face. Oh, one more GQ pose. Go Sigma! Team Sigma. Diana's a big member of Team Sigma.
Did we do it?
We're not wearing the bracelets, so I don't know the time. But
Judging by the position of the sun, it's probably noonish.
And the date?
How would I know?
Hey, Mira. Eric. Do you remember me?
Yeah.
I definitely remember you.
then we really did.
Okay, but just so you guys all know, Mira's
Well,
still a
must've
killer.
worked.
Life is unfair. Don't you think?
So Zero is still alive because this was the coin flip time.
You bastard.
17 years ago, a snail traveled down a narrow path in the park. If that snail hadn't been there, perhaps all of you here would have lived a completely different life than you did. Just one small snail, and everyone's lives, even the world, changed.
So, what's the big deal?
Would you just quit talking nonsense?
So you got another note?
I'm so glad you were safe.
Of course we were. You all have shifted in from another history.
Whatever. We gotta call the cops.
And what exactly will that accomplish?
Isn't it obvious? We're throwing you in the slammer.
And my crime?
Murder.
Murder? I see. But I haven't killed anyone.
Yep. Everybody's alive here.
Specifically, in this history, not a single person has died. I strongly doubt the police would listen.
But in the other histories, you...
Did you not pay attention? I don't have the ability to shift. The only reason I know anything of those histories is because I mind-hacked you. In effect, the me you know is a different person than the one before you.
And this one, all he did was tell him he wanted to play a game,
Can
flipped a
I
coin,
be
and they won.
charged for killing someone in another history? If so, then I'd say this world would be full of criminals of all kinds.
What about conspiracy to commit?
Yeah. I'm betting this history's got a bunch of dangerous machines and gimmicks all over the shelter.
That are about to blow up.
Unfortunately, I have removed them all. You've slept for quite a while. Nothing is left in the shelter. No transporter, no quantum computer. Loaded into a truck and taken away. Sean is able to move right now due to radio signals received from a satellite. What? Aren't you happy? I say again, in this history, not a single person has died. Phi and I exist, and there will never be an outbreak of Radical 6.
So everybody sort of gets their happy ending.
There is only a bright future ahead for all of us. Is this not what you'd call a happy end?
But according to you, all of mankind will die if time passes and nothing is done.
A religious fanatic, a terrorist attack that sparks a nuclear war.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about
I
that.
heard this story. You said you released Radical 6 so that you could kill that person.
The me before you did not say that, but I can't deny it's true.
Radical 6 won't spread throughout the world.
But wouldn't he be able to just mind hack everybody and figure out who the guy is?
That fanatic guy won't die.
Wait, so now humans will go extinct?
Hey, where's that happy future you mentioned?
Interesting. Does that make you angry, Phi?
What?
If so, then we have a serious contradiction. I had prepared a future in another history where 2 billion would survive. But yet, you decided to jump to this history. That means you chose a future where humanity goes extinct, over 6 billion dead.
No, you're wrong, Delta. Nothing in the future has been determined yet. We'll shape the future with our own hands.
Huh. You said something I can get behind, Carlos.
I think so too.
I agree.
Okay, me too.
Mira, you're right. The future has infinite possibilities.
If we work together, we can accomplish anything.
Humanity's gonna die out? Screw that.
We'll definitely change that horrible future.
What's so funny?
Just that.
What the hell do you mean?
I'm sure I told you in another history that my motives are complex.
His motives were to get them to be motivated to do this.
If none of you had experienced the events that occurred in the shelter? You're so determined now to change the future. One of the goals of all of this was to get you into that frame of mind. It's all going according to plan, without a single casualty.
God damn it, Zero's the good guy.
I created a future where mankind will be saved. Does that upset you? Are you angry that your life was played with? Very well. I will give all of you one last choice. With that gun there, you will be able to choose whether to kill me now or allow me to leave. I promise I won't use mind hacking on you. You are free to decide. Which shall it be? Pull the trigger or let me go. The fates of you, me, and mankind are all on the line. This is the decision game.
Oh, so it wasn't even the shifting. It was this part right here. He said he wanted to play one last decision game. Oh, and that's it? Zero Escape 4. Did Zero actually escape? the sequel. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, I can't skip these credits. Oh, the true credits, you can't skip them. Well, ain't that something? Well, I guess I'll get thoughts out now about the game then, and we'll go back and we'll do the other ending where we don't shift. This was definitely an interesting game. I made the caveat at the very beginning of this that I had not played the other ones. I had only looked stuff up on them and told things and everything. So even knowing that, there were a lot of gaps that I could not fill. Because I didn't know some of the history of like Junpei and Akane. I don't know. I know Sigma and Phi have been in the other games. So I didn't know some of their stuff. Zero. Obviously, this is the second Zero, so I don't know anything about the first. All that stuff. With that in mind, I don't think that it hurt the game at all. They had enough to the story here and to the characters and the setup and the conclusion that you can play this without playing the other two. Because I've already seen that from people before, that if you didn't play the other two, one, it spoils the first two if you ever go back, which they are releasing them on PC. At least I know, was it Virtue's Last Reward or something like that is supposed to be coming, and supposedly 999 is being worked on also. The 9 doors, 9... Was it not 9 doors, 9 deaths, 9 bodies, or 9 people, persons, whatever it is, are all being worked on. So this would supposedly ruin those. But that's not the point anymore. This is the first one on PC. Games in and of themselves have to be able to stand on their own. And even if there's like 5 of them, all the Metal Gear Solids, for having an intertwining story, have to be able to stand on their own. And I think this one did that too. It told enough of a story and enough of an outcome that it stands up on their own. So anybody who plays it, I think if they play this without playing the other two, are actually fine. Yes, you probably have a more enjoyable experience if you played the first two first and then came and played this one. But I think that this one does enough on its own. Now, for the actual mind effery that is the science fiction in it, holy crap. Now, I'm sure that there are some major plot holes there. I think I pointed out a bunch of them. There are questions that could be all over the place. And that happens with any science fiction movie. And trust me, this isn't going to be outside of that realm. I mean, they brought up some of the plot holes in Back to the Future. There's plot holes in that. There's plot holes in Life is Strange, which is one of my favorite games. And that is all based on time travel, or being able to rewind time and stuff. That is filled with plot holes. Everything that has time has plot holes because, as something that this game pointed out tons of times, we don't know. It is all a giant conundrum, but I think they do a good job here of trying to fill in as many gaps as they could. Trying to answer as many questions, knowing that people would go, well, what about this? Why couldn't they make this decision? Why couldn't they make that? And they tried really hard, I think, to really explain why some of those would and wouldn't work. And I know that there's some plot holes still in there, but it does a good job of trying to cover all its bases, trying to cover its own ideology, I guess you could say, its own mythos. And I think it did a really good job with that too. Now, the characters themselves can be kind of bland at sometimes. I thought Junpei was a jackass for most of the game, even though he had his come to Jesus moment, which was basically his love for Akane. But even past that, he was still kind of a soulless little dick. And I don't know, the non-conclusion for Mira is gonna bug me, because everybody would have to know, if everybody got those memories back, everybody has to know that Mira is still a killer. And even if she has her come to Jesus moment where now she's like, I'm gonna try to save the world, she still killed 18 people. They say that nobody has blood on their hands, nobody died. Mira is still a killer. So, yeah, so something like that kind of bugs me. Past that, though, good game. And I know we're going to play a little bit more here in a second because we're going to get the other ending. But good game. Good story. It kept me gripped, on the edge of my seat, wondering what's happening here. Let's do this. Let's go through. Completed. Yeah. Let's save. So we probably got eyeball there. Good deal. Flow. So the only one we didn't get was Stan. Let's get that one out of the way, just so we know everything that happens. And super skip. Here we go. And we are not going to shift. Yeah, so anyways, good characters, except for a couple questions that needed to be answered. A few other little things here and there. But overall, good game. It was long, it's a little drawn out. It's very dialogue heavy. It's very cleavage heavy, thanks to Mira. Just had to with that shot right there. But I think it does its job well enough. A game is supposed to be an experience, whether it's because you had lots of action or because you had a good story. And this one had it. Not a good story, or not, I'm sorry, not a good story. Not good action. There's not a lot of actual controls to the game. It's like a point-and-click adventure. It is a visual novel. It is a story, and it did a really good job of telling that story. It was a great experience. The game probably clocked in, see, look at that, completed. D team subject report, Q team subject report, C team subject report. I just got a bunch of achievements. Shifter, zero escape. I just unlocked a ton of things. And let's see, was there anything? Let's just make sure there's no hidden things here. I think that was it. Yeah, I think it's all. We got everything unlocked. So, good deal. But yeah, fun game. Good experience. What did it say? 18 hours and 15 minutes. Almost 20 hours. That is definitely above acceptable for a game to become a true experience. Not some little 5 or 6 hour game. This thing was 18 hours of enjoyment and mind effery. I've said that many times. My brain was having to go 1,000 miles a minute to keep up with the story and the puzzles and everything. So definitely good time. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. I hope anybody who watched this had a good time. I hope you enjoyed it, had fun. If you watched it for answers to the puzzles, I hope they helped. Some of them were a pain in the ass. I did have to edit out some parts because there was 10, 15 minutes of me searching around. So if you have issues with it, trust me, I did too. But we got it all done. So I thank anybody who watched even one of these episodes. I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. I hope I entertained you. Please comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. I don't ask anybody to do it. I just, hey, if you want to, please. I appreciate it. And we'll see what series comes next. I got a bunch of games to try, a bunch of other ones like this, so we'll see what comes next. And I will see you in that next one. Way to go, Zero Time Dilemma. Way to go, Spike Chunsoft. Good game. Good game.